Oh yeah. Afternoon. So, like I was saying earlier, this previous fucking update or whatever, I did something very, very extremely fucking detrimentally important to my future, right? Not just mine, but the ones I care about, the ones I love, the ones I'm in it for. And I did that, right? I got there on time, and we fucking got over all the fucking, we dotted all the I's, fucking crossed all the T's, and all that other shit, and we're gravy, we're good. Now, I really like, it fucking really, like, it hurts me that, like, before this fucking eviction, before my recent fucking trials and tribulations, I was going to see my son, like, not all, like, almost every day. I try to do it as often as possible. Now, that's not always the case. Like, I am, like I said, I was I'm an insomniac, and I'd stay up for fucking days at a time, and I was exhausted, right? So sometimes I'd sleep through the day, or I'd be so fucking depressed because of all this shit that I couldn't fucking force myself, no matter how hard I tried to get up. But most of the time, either if I was or I wasn't all in all those fucking states, I'd still go, right? Like, because he's my son, I came here to fucking, you know, for him, right? So I fucking try to see him as often as possible, for as long as possible, even if we're not even hanging out all the time, right? Because he's just a kid, he doesn't want to hang out with his old man. Anyway, just to be there with him, right? But so, unfortunately, due to this, my fucking current state, my fucking current situation that I'm in, I'm unable to do that, right? For one, like I said, my situation ain't exactly, like, fucking completely secure yet, right? Like, I'm in a place that's not completely secure, so I gotta kind of guard my shit. I can't be there all the time, but I try to, you know, stay there as much as possible, and I got shit to do, right? Like I tried to explain to me mom right before I left. Like, think of it this way. Like, when there's a war, when there's a battle, when it's detrimental, if the warrior doesn't go to the battle, he doesn't go, even though he fucking pains him to leave his family, he doesn't go and fucking face the war, face the battle. If he doesn't do it, then the fucking opposite side will come in, they'll fucking pillage, they'll rape, they'll destroy, they'll kill his fucking family, right? Well, I'm not exactly in that position, but I'm kind of at a war right now. I'm kind of in a battle, right? And even though it pains me that I can't see my son every day and I had to leave before he came home from school, like, I'm in a battle. I gotta fucking, you know, leave the family. I gotta fucking take care of the fucking war, right? I gotta fucking fight through the fucking, like, the strife. I gotta fucking, you know, take on the enemy with courage, with my head held high, even though if it pains me that I can't fucking see my family and do the things that I really would like to do, because that's what's required, that's what's necessary. Anyway, I'm starting to rant. My point is, like, here I am now, I've completed what I had to do, and it's actually turned out to be quite a pleasant day, right? Now, I'm not too far away from your mom's flat. Like, I did take a cab there, but I'm not fucking made of fucking shitty ching ching ching, so I'm fucking walking back. Plus, I like to walk, even though I am a cripple. Like, I enjoy looking at things and finding new things, and, like, I'm not picking up cans or anything at the moment. I don't got any bags on me, even though I probably could find some really easily. But, like, sometimes you can't work all the fucking time, right? But, so I'm sitting here, like, in a nice tree, nice shady area. It's fucking hot everywhere, so I've never sat at this tree before. It's a nice fucking tree, right? But it's nice and shady, right? So I'm sitting here, and, yeah, that's that. I just thought I'd say one more thing, is that, now, I do still pick things up and shit, right? Sometimes I can't help myself. But one thing I always pick up, like, I fucking swear there's, like, a gnome or something like that, some sort of pixie or something that has screws and nails, spikes, and old keys and shit. I don't know how to do this. You see that? And, like, and he just scatters them all over the fucking place, all over the road, all over the sidewalk. Now, these nails are and screws and shit are in all shapes and sizes. Here's a very tiny one. I like these ones. Here's one here. Like, I picked these up, right? Like, for one, you ever fucking go to a Rona or something and buy a pack of screws or a pack of fucking nails? You get, like, a little box of 30 for, like, fucking $15, right? And how long will that last you? So I require nails and screws and shit like that. I can't afford them all. I'm not gonna go fucking steal them. So I worked what I got, right? But now, it's not all I pick up, right? Like, I like rounds, I like washers of all shapes and sizes. I don't use them for just spacing with screws and stuff like that. I use them to build other things, right? They're very useful, come in handy, and I like metal, right? They're like coins. They're even fucking better than coins because they actually got value, right? The coins we got aren't like the coins back in the day where they're gold and silver and copper and bronze and shit like that. They're made of fucking, I don't know, aluminum and fucking, like, composite metals, and they don't really have any value because the currency we have doesn't really have any fucking value. It's just the value we give it is what we allow it to have, right? It's just in our fucking heads. It's what we've been told is value. There's another one. Now, steel. Steel has value. Steel has a fucking, it fluctuates, but you can sell it at the scrapyard if you need to. Now, I don't usually with these because I use them, right? But I pick them up all the time. Now, I don't care. I'm not expecting you to do this or anything like that. But think of it this way. Like, I'm actually fairly beneficial for fucking society, right? Because these nails, these screws, these fucking spikes, and all this other shit gets fucking trapped in tires. Like, people fucking run them over, blow up their fucking tires. Or say there's a dog walking down the street and there's a fucking nail sticking up. What if that dog or that child or that fucking old lady or whatever fucking steps on that, right? Like, I'm kind of cleaning up the land, right? I'm not trying to fucking say, look how cool and fucking high and mighty I am. It's just something I kind of thought of, right? No, that's not all I pick up. I pick up rigs too, right? I find fucking rigs capped, uncapped, all over the road, all over the street, in parks, on play equipment. Like fucking junkies, a lot of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them are fucking inconsiderate. They're all junked out. They're not thinking about, the safety of others. They just kind of bang up the smack and then they fucking, then rig fucking flutters away. So, I got up gloves that were really good protection. I wear armor. I have all the tools. I pick shit like that up, right? Like, I'm not doing it for, it brings me pride, but I'm not doing it for, recognition or anything like that. Like, I'm telling you about this now, just because I kind of rant, right? But, if I don't fucking do it, nobody else will. Most people, when they walk by, they're not all armored like me. They haven't been through the shit. They haven't dealt with rigs, and they fucking all that other shit. So they're like, if they don't even notice it, if they see it, they'll fucking go around it and they'll just leave it there, right? Now what if little Sally, fucking 6-year-old Sally, or fucking Benji, the fucking dog, or fucking old Mother Hubbard is fucking walking down the street with their little slippers on, and they don't fucking see that. Like, what if the rig is fucking uncapped, because they a lot of times are, and they're sticking up in the grass, right? Maybe the grass has been cut in a week, so it's a little longer than it should, and they don't fucking see it. Little kids don't know what rigs are, or dogs, or fucking old ladies, or whatever. So, boom, they step on it, they get fucking HIV or fucking Hep C or something like that. And I can't have that, right? Fuck. Scum, right? Like, fuck, clean up after yourself. I got drug issues. I got fucking problems of my own. I don't do that shit, man. And a lot of my friends, a lot of people I know don't do that shit, right? So, if we can do it, why the fuck can't they? Alright, up the punks.